Hello everyone, Coach Crimson here, and today I have another Coach's Questions for you. Today I was looking in the Apex University Discord, and someone asked a great question that I once upon a time had the same issue with. So the question here is, hey coaches, I need help. How can I go about staying calm and in control of my emotions in a game? For example, when I'm alone to clutch a 1v3, I shake up, and after the fight I can't play and I have to sit back down for a minute to get a grip on myself. The other issue is during games where I'm playing well, I get excited, which leads me to playing carelessly and messing up. I need to know how I can learn to stay calm and not let my emotions take control of the game. Thanks. So this is a great question because I struggled with this a little bit in Apex. I'll be quite honest. I struggled with it a little bit in Apex, but that was more of me learning the game and not being comfortable. And of course, every person's going to get nervous. That happens once in a while. But if it's happening very frequently, then it's kind of a problem you need to address. Um, so for me personally, let's start with how this problem first happened to me. When I was first competing in Smash Brothers Melee, all the tournaments are LAN. They're all live in front of a person. So it got really nerve-wracking, especially when you're playing against people, especially when you're playing a top 100 player and you're close to beating them. It's really nerve-wracking, and I got nervous and I choked a lot of times. And the reality is you got to learn to play the game and choke a lot before you get comfortable with choking. But a big thing that helped me when I was competing, also ignore the gameplay in the background. This is just Zip YouTube. Um, a big thing that really helped me was music. I loved music when I was younger. What am I saying? I still love music now. I love music when I was competing and in general, and I basically picked my favorite songs that would soothe me, right? Like I listen to music all the time after work, after school, whatever. And so I picked the best songs that make me feel comfortable and confident without them being overwhelming. Because some songs get you that opposite feeling where they get you hyped and kind of too emotional. But I picked really nice soothing songs that were hype enough to get me going, but not enough to take over the game. So I crafted a playlist and I played with this. I only played my tournaments with this playlist, and I love this playlist a lot. And basically, I never learned not to play competitive Smash Bros. Without it. I only played with this playlist, and it really got me in this in the zone where I listened to the music so much that it calmed me down. And with Apex in any game you're playing competitively, it's really good to get in the habit of talking to yourself about the game in the situation, right? And so I first learned to play confident and calm with the music, and then I started talking to myself during the game. So I never even really listened to the music except for when I wasn't talking with myself. And the reason I say you got to talk to yourself sometimes is that leads me to the second part of this question. How do I prevent myself from getting too careless when I'm playing well? And kind of like the first part of the question is, the first answer to the last question is you got to just play a lot and realize it. But what I started doing is whenever I get in a good situation and I'm winning, I remind myself, hey, don't get too overconfident. Stick to your game plan. And that's the point of this, right? You need to have a game plan. And that's what I mean by talking to yourself. When you're playing a game, what is your game plan? And is what you're doing contributing to that game plan? So any lull in your moment, you got to figure out your game plan. Like this season, for instance, get KP, play placement. If you fight a team and you got that first team fight out in Apex and you got to play zone, you got to think, hey, what's the next plan? Get to the next zone. And then before you see another team that's gatekeeping you or you might have to fight, you go to yourself, hey, do I need to fight this team? Is it contributing to my game plan? And if possible, try to think rationally about what you can do to contribute towards the game plan, right? Like staying calm and repeating to yourself what you need to do to win is a way to stay calm. And that's how I did it, right? Instead of letting your mind wander and getting frustrated about what's going on or getting overexcited what's going on, remind yourself what the game plan is, right? And you talk to your teammates, talk to yourself, figure out that game plan. And if you focus on that game plan and you keep your mind from wandering to these unknown unknowns and frustrations, then you'll really foresee that plan happening. So overall, a great question. Unfortunately, you just got to keep playing, find what's comfortable for you. Like I said, for me, it was music. Perhaps it's getting people to play with, right? If you have a constant three stack, because you said here specifically, I'm not sure if you get frustrated other times and emotional, but you said specifically when I'm alone in 1v3 clutch. So what that says to me when you're playing with your team in a 3v3, you're confident and you're not emotional. Why is that? Unfortunately, I'm not you, so I cannot answer your question for you. But I like to think that if you're with your boys or your friends or your team, you have people with you and you have the confidence to play with them and for them. That way you're not getting as, you know, that you're not getting emotional and nervous. Um, that being said, if I'm only playing in 3v3s and I'm comfortable playing 3v3s, how can I extend that to 1v3s? Well, you have to get confident in your gameplay, right? That's what I do is I play solos and play duos, solo, queuing by myself soloing, or playing trios soloing, because you have to play this game and learn how to 1v3. And you gotta understand how to 1v3, right? 1v3 is not an inherent thing that people get skill, they learn how to do, right? And you have to be confident in your abilities, and you have to be aware that you can do it, right? You have to be able to do that and think you can do it. If you don't think you can 1v3, you're not going to be able to 1v3. But if you tell yourself you're going to 1v3, you can probably do it. And what I mean by that is like the confidence to think you can 1v3, you can do it. Like a pro player doesn't go into a game and say, man, I can't 1v3. They go, no, I'm better than these three people. They're bronze. I'm going to beat them, right? And that confidence makes them play better. And so part of learning how to 1v3 is also getting that confidence, right? And if you're not confident how to 1v3, talk to some people, talk to some coaches, play some pubs, try to play solo and figure out how to 1v3. Because once you know how to do it, you got to tell yourself you can do it and you'll start doing it. And obviously it's not going to happen all the time. I'm still learning how to 1v3 consistently. It's not easy, but if you can stream your games to yourself and figure out your mistakes, because every time you get close to doing it, every time I 1v2, I go, crap, I could have 1v3'd, but I made a mistake. What was that mistake? And I focus my energy on what I could have done better for the next time. Anyways, I apologize. It's a little longer than I thought. Let me figure out if there's any parts of this question I did not. Oh, the other part you said is sometimes you get so emotional that you can't play afterwards. That's really tough. I'm not sure if I've ever had that problem. It happens sometimes because there's some banger games. There's some wild games where I need to sit after the game and just chill. That's normal. But if it's happening after fights, I'm not really sure. It's a little tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I think personally, I would say, hey, stop thinking about what just happened because I think when you get emotional and you get shaken up and like kind of locked up, you're focusing on what just happened and processing it, right? And kind of like this is kind of like with grief. If you ever lost a loved one, this is kind of a similar thing. Think about something else. And I think it's kind of dark how I brought that into the conversation, but that's kind of the truth. Instead of thinking about what just happened, keep your mind to the next goal, right? In track, I did hurdles, which is when you jump over those little fences in high school, and they always taught you don't look at the one you're about to jump over, look at the next one, because whenever you look at the one you're in front of you, you focus on that one and you don't prepare for the next one. And as such, I learned to like look at the next one because you got to be confident with your skills to get over the first one. So, anyways, that's a little long. I apologize. If you have any more questions, please Discord me, message me. If you like my coaching content, I have much more. Please let me know if you want to see this and more. Thanks, everybody.